First contact gone wrong. The vast expanse of space had always held secrets, but none quite as explosive as the humans of Earth. As the Xarthal Empire's scout ship Nebula Whisperer dropped out of faster-than-light travel on the fringes of the Sol system, Captain Xylorine of the crystalline Xarthal species felt a mix of excitement and trepidation coursing through her translucent form. Scanners detect multiple artificial structures on the third planet and its satellite, reported Science Officer Vexler, his faceted eyes gleaming with interest. Primitive propulsion technology, but extensive colonization of that orbital space. Xylorine's central core pulsed with curiosity. Fascinating. They've managed to establish a presence beyond their homeworld without achieving FTL travel. Most unusual. The bridge of the Nebula Whisperer hummed with activity as the crew prepared for humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. None of them could have predicted the chain of events their arrival would set in motion. Captain, called out Communications Officer Zinthar, her bioluminescent tentacles flickering nervously. We're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface. Audio and visual. Xylorine's crystalline form shimmered with anticipation. On screen, the main view screen flickered to life, revealing a human male with graying hair and piercing blue eyes. He wore a crisp uniform adorned with insignias that the ship's AI quickly identified as military in nature. Unknown vessel, this is Admiral Viktor Volkov of the United Earth Defense Force. You have entered restricted space. Identify yourself and state your purpose immediately. Xylorine was taken aback by the forceful tone, but composed herself quickly. Greetings, Admiral Volkov. I am Captain Xylorine of the Xarthal Empire scout ship Nebula Whisperer. We come in peace, seeking to establish first contact with your species. Admiral Volkov's expression remained impassive, but his eyes narrowed slightly. Captain Xylorine, while we appreciate your peaceful intentions, your unannounced arrival has put our planet on high alert. We request that you maintain your current position while we consult with our world leaders. Of course, Admiral. We will comply with your request, Xylorine responded, trying to project an aura of calm authority. As the transmission ended, the bridge erupted into excited chatter. First contact specialist Lumiara, a bioluminescent Quarian, floated forward. Captain, their response seems unusually guarded for a species encountering alien life for the first time. Perhaps we should approach this situation with extra caution. Xylorine's form shimmered in agreement. Indeed, Lumiara. Their military readiness is concerning. Vexler, what can you tell me about their defensive capabilities? The science officer's faceted eyes darted across his console. Primitive by our standards, Captain, but not insignificant. They possess nuclear weapons, kinetic strike platforms in orbit, and a sizable fleet of armed spacecraft. However, their weapons would be largely ineffective against our shields. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, Xylorine mused. Zinthar, open a channel to Xarthal High Command. They'll want to know about this development immediately. As the hours ticked by, tension aboard the Nebula Whisperer grew. The humans had maintained radio silence since the initial contact, and long-range scanners showed increased activity around their planet and its satellite. Captain, Zinthar called out suddenly. We're receiving another transmission from the surface. The view screen flickered to life once more, this time showing a diverse group of humans seated around a large table. At the center sat a distinguished-looking woman with silver hair and a determined expression. Greetings, Captain Xylorine. I am President Elena Santos of the United Earth Government. We apologize for the delay in our response. As you can imagine, your arrival has caused quite a stir on our world. Xylorine's central core pulsed with relief. Thank you for contacting us, President Santos. We understand the magnitude of this moment and are eager to begin peaceful dialogue between our civilizations. Santos nodded, her expression grave. We share your desire for peace, Captain. However, we must prioritize the safety and sovereignty of Earth. We have some concerns we'd like to address before proceeding further. Of course, Xylorine replied, her crystalline form shimmering slightly. We are here to answer any questions you may have. Very well, Santos continued. First and foremost, we need assurances that your presence here is not a prelude to invasion or colonization. Earth has a long history of conflict, and we've learned to be cautious. Xylorine's form rippled with surprise. I assure you, President Santos, we have no such intentions. The Zarfel Empire is founded on principles of peaceful cooperation and mutual benefit. We seek only to welcome new species into our interstellar community. Santos' eyes narrowed slightly. And yet you arrived unannounced in a ship clearly capable of overwhelming our defenses. Surely you can understand our hesitation. The implications of the human's words sent a shudder through Xylorine's crystalline body. She realized too late that their approach, standard procedure for first contact with pre-FTL civilizations, had been perceived as a potential threat. President Santos, I apologize for any distress we may have caused. Our intention was to observe briefly before making contact to ensure we did not disrupt your society. We meant no disrespect to your sovereignty. The human leader's expression softened slightly, but wariness remained in her eyes. We appreciate your explanation, Captain. However, we must insist on a more formal declaration of your intentions. We propose a face-to-face meeting on neutral ground. Our International Space Station would serve as an appropriate venue. Would you be willing to send a small delegation to meet with our representatives? Xylorine conferred briefly with her crew before responding. We would be honored, President Santos. Please provide us with the necessary coordinates, and we will prepare a shuttle. As the transmission ended, Xylorine turned to her crew. This situation is more delicate than we anticipated. Luniara, you'll accompany me to the space station. Vexler, prepare a comprehensive cultural briefing. We cannot afford any more misunderstandings. Little did Xylorine know that her caution was well-founded. As the Zarfel delegation prepared for their journey to the International Space Station, a secret meeting was taking place deep within the bowels of Earth's most secure military facility. Admiral Volkov stood before a group of grim-faced generals and intelligence officials. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've prepared for has arrived. Operation Cosmic Shield is now active. May whatever gods exist have mercy on us all, for we are about to challenge the stars themselves. As the Nebula Whisperer's shuttle descended towards the International Space Station, neither the aliens nor the humans realized that they were on a collision course with destiny, one that would shake the very foundations of the galaxy and reveal the true, terrifying potential of humanity. The universe held its breath, for it was about to learn why it should shiver when humans get angry. The galactic stage. The shuttle from the Nebula Whisperer docked with the International Space Station with a soft metallic clank. Captain Xylorine's crystalline form shimmered with a mix of anticipation and apprehension as she prepared to disembark. Beside her, first contact specialist Luniara's bioluminescent tentacles pulsed with a calming rhythm. Remember, Captain, Luniara whispered, humans are incredibly diverse in their reactions. Be prepared for anything. As the airlock cycled open, they were greeted by a small delegation of humans, led by a tall, dark-skinned woman with close-cropped hair and an aura of authority. Welcome aboard the ISS, the woman said, her voice firm but not unfriendly. I'm Colonel Amara Chen, representing the United Earth Defense Force. On behalf of humanity, we extend our cautious greetings. Xylorine inclined her crystalline form in what she hoped was a respectful gesture. Thank you, Colonel Chen. I am Captain Xylorine of the Zarfel Empire, and this is First Contact Specialist Luniara. We come in peace and with hopes of fostering understanding between our peoples. As they moved to the conference room, Xylorine couldn't help but notice the mix of wonder and wariness in the eyes of the human crew they passed. The conference room itself was a marvel of human ingenuity, repurposed from multiple modules to create a space large enough for this historic meeting. President Elena Santos' face appeared on a large screen, her expression a mask of diplomatic neutrality. Captain Silorine, now that we're face to face, so to speak, let's get to the heart of the matter. What exactly does the Zarthal Empire want from Earth? Silorine's form pulsed with sincerity as she replied, President Santos, our primary goal is to welcome humanity into the galactic community. We believe in the free exchange of knowledge and culture. The Zarthal Empire is but one of many civilizations in a vast interstellar alliance. We offer friendship, technology, and a place among the stars. Santos leaned forward, her eyes sharp. And what do you expect in return? Only your cooperation and participation in galactic affairs, Silorine answered. Each species brings unique perspectives and abilities to our alliance. We're curious to learn what humanity might contribute. A flicker of something, pride, defiance, passed across Santos' face. I see. And if we were to decline this invitation? The question hung in the air, heavy with implication. Lumiara's tentacles flashed a warning pattern, but Silorine pressed on. With respect, President Santos, isolation is rarely a viable long-term strategy. Now that we've made contact, other species will follow. Some may not be as diplomatic as the Zarthal. Colonel Chen's posture stiffened. Is that a threat, Captain? Not at all, Silorine hastened to clarify. Merely a statement of galactic reality. We offer protection and guidance as humanity takes its first steps into a larger universe. The negotiations continued for hours, a delicate dance of diplomacy and veiled intentions. As the human delegation conferred privately, Silorine turned to Lumiara. They're far more advanced than our initial scans suggested. Did you notice the neural interfaces their technicians were using? Lumiara's bioluminescence flickered with concern. Indeed, I fear we may have underestimated them, Captain. Their caution speaks of deep-seated preparedness. It's almost as if... Their conversation was interrupted as President Santos reappeared on the screen, her face grim. Captain Silorine, after much deliberation, we've reached a decision. Earth will cautiously accept a place in your galactic community with conditions. We insist on maintaining our sovereignty and the right to develop our own technologies without interference. Additionally, we request a comprehensive database of galactic law, history, and scientific knowledge. Silorine's form rippled with relief and a touch of suspicion. The humans were driving a hard bargain, but it was better than outright rejection. Your terms are acceptable, President Santos. We welcome humanity to the galactic stage. As the formal agreements were drawn up, neither the humans nor the Zarthal realized the true implications of this moment. Earth's entrance into galactic society was about to send shockwaves through the cosmos. In the months that followed, Earth became a hive of activity. The initial public panic at the revelation of alien life quickly gave way to a frenzy of adaptation and innovation. Humanity, it seemed, had been preparing for this moment for generations through science fiction and doomsday planning. Zarthal diplomatic envoys were both impressed and unnerved by the speed at which humans absorbed and applied galactic knowledge. Earth's cities began to transform, incorporating alien technologies with a uniquely human flair. The first human-built faster-than-light ship was launched within a year, a feat that left the galactic community stunned. But it was at the first Galactic Council meeting attended by human representatives that the true impact of humanity's arrival became clear. The Great Hall of Harmony on the neutral world of Axis Prime was abuzz with activity. Delegates from 1,000 worlds waited with varying degrees of curiosity and disdain for the arrival of the Earth delegation. Silorine, now serving as the Zarthal ambassador to Earth, felt a mix of pride and apprehension as the doors swung open. Led by Ambassador Sarah Chen, Colonel Chen's younger sister, the human delegation strode into the hall with confidence that bordered on swagger. Sarah's voice rang out clear and strong, amplified by the chamber's acoustics. Esteemed delegates of the galactic community, I bring greetings from Earth. We come seeking friendship, knowledge, and a chance to contribute to this grand alliance of civilizations. A murmur rippled through the assembled aliens. The Valaxian representative, a being of pure energy contained within an ornate metallic shell, spoke first. "We welcome Earth to the Galactic Council. However, we must express concern over your rapid technological advancement. It goes against all known models of species development." Sarah smiled, a gesture that didn't quite reach her eyes. "With all due respect, perhaps your models need updating. Humanity has always been driven to explore, to push boundaries. We call it innovation." The Calathian hive mind, a massive, multi-bodied entity, chittered in agitation. "The humans speak of innovation, yet we detect traces of technologies from a dozen different species in their designs. Explain this." "Amalgamation." "We call it adaptation," Sarah replied smoothly. "Humanity's greatest strength is our ability to take ideas from various sources and combine them in new, unexpected ways. We don't just copy, we improve." The hall erupted in a cacophony of outrage and fascination. Some delegates accused humans of theft and espionage, while others expressed admiration for their ingenuity. Through it all, Sarah Chen stood firm, parrying accusations with charm and veiled warnings. As the session descended into chaos, Loreen noticed a subtle smirk on Ambassador Chen's face. With a start, she realized that this was precisely the outcome the humans had anticipated, perhaps even planned for. In that moment, Loreen understood that the galaxy had fundamentally changed. Humanity wasn't just joining the galactic community, they were reshaping it through sheer force of will and ingenuity. As the Galactic Council struggled to come to terms with the human whirlwind, a secret meeting was taking place in a hidden chamber beneath the Hall of Harmony. The Shadowed Conclave, a group of the most powerful beings in the galaxy, gathered to discuss the human problem. The Eternal Flame of Zorax, an ancient being of cosmic fire, spoke first. "These humans are a threat to the established order. Their rate of advancement is unprecedented and deeply concerning." The Void Whisper, a creature of dark matter, pulsed with agreement. "Indeed, they must be contained before they upset the balance we've maintained for eons." But the quantum nexus, a collective consciousness spanning multiple realities, offered a different perspective. Or perhaps they are the key to our own evolution. Imagine what we could become if we embrace their chaotic potential. As the Shadowed Conclave debated humanity's fate, they failed to notice the small, spider-like drone hidden in the chamber's shadows. In a secret facility on Earth, Admiral Volkov watched the proceedings with grim satisfaction. "Well played, Ambassador Chen," he murmured. "The game is afoot, and the galaxy has no idea what's coming." Little did any of them know, humanity's true potential was yet to be revealed. The galaxy was about to learn why the universe shivers when humans get angry, and the stage was set for a conflict that would reshape the cosmos itself. Human ingenuity unleashed. The gleaming spires of New Shanghai pierced the clouds, a testament to humanity's rapid adaptation of alien technologies. Dr. Arya Khan stood at the window of her lab in the Quantum Dynamics Institute, watching as vehicles of both terrestrial and extraterrestrial design wove through the city's skylanes. "Dr. Khan," the AI assistant's voice interrupted her reverie. "The test results from Project Prometheus are ready." Arya's heart raced as she pulled up the holographic display. For months, her team had been working on a revolutionary propulsion system that combined Zarfel crystal matrices with human-developed quantum entanglement theories. If successful, it would make current FTL drives look like steam engines in comparison. As she pored over the data, a smile spread across her face. "We did it," she whispered. "Initiate Protocol Omega. Inform Admiral Volkov immediately." Across the galaxy, in the opulent chambers of the Galactic Council on Axis Prime, Ambassador Sarah Chen was fighting a different kind of battle. "And so, distinguished delegates, we propose a collaborative effort to address the Andromeda Plague affecting the Outer Rim worlds," Sarah concluded, her voice firm but diplomatic. The chamber erupted into a cacophony of alien voices. The Valaxian representative's energy form pulsed with skepticism. And why should we trust human medical science? Your species has barely scratched the surface of galactic biology. Sarah's smile was razor-sharp. Perhaps, but we have extensive experience in rapidly developing vaccines for novel pathogens. Our history is rife with examples of overcoming pandemics. The Colafian hive mind shittered in agreement. The human's argument has merit. Their adaptability could prove useful. As the debate raged on, Sarah caught sight of Silorine, the Zarfal ambassador. The crystalline alien's form shimmered with what Sarah had learned to recognize as concern. Hours later, in a secluded garden designed to accommodate various alien physiologies, Sarah and Tylorine met in secret. "You're playing a dangerous game, Ambassador Chen." Xylorine's voice resonated with worry. The shattered conclave grows increasingly concerned about humanity's rapid advancements. Sarah's expression hardened. "We're only doing what's necessary to survive in this new reality you thrust upon us. Or did you expect us to remain passive and grateful?" Silorine's form rippled with frustration. "That's not. We only wanted to welcome you into the galactic community. But this pace of innovation, it's unprecedented. The quantum-fold communications, the advancements in AI integration, and now I hear rumors of a new propulsion system. All perfectly in line with the knowledge you shared with us," Sarah countered smoothly. "We're quick studies, Ambassador. Perhaps quicker than you anticipated." The conversation was interrupted by an urgent message on Sarah's neural implant. Her eyes widened. I have to go. A situation has developed on Earth." As Sarah hurried away, Silorine felt a sense of foreboding wash over her crystalline form. The universe was changing, and humanity was the catalyst. Back on Earth, in the hidden depths of the Avalon complex beneath the Antarctic ice, Admiral Viktor Volkov stood before a collection of holographic displays. Each screen showed a different human achievement: the Prometheus drive, capable of crossing the galaxy in days; the Nexus A, a quantum computer that could outthink entire alien civilizations; and Project Lazarus, a nano-regeneration system that bordered on functional immortality. "Status report," Volkov barked. Dr. Arya Khan's hologram appeared, her expression a mix of excitement and trepidation. "Admiral, Project Prometheus was a complete success. We're ready for full-scale production." "Excellent. And the other projects?" "Nexus AI is online and fully operational," reported a young man with cybernetic implants visible on his temples. "It's already revolutionizing our predictive models for galactic politics." "Project Lazarus has passed all clinical trials," added a woman in a lab coat. "We can begin implementation for key personnel immediately." Volkov allowed himself a small smile. "Well done, all of you. Humanity's future among the stars is secure." "Sir," interrupted his aide, "we're detecting an anomaly at the edge of the solar system. It doesn't match any known signatures, alien or human." Volkov's eyes narrowed. "Show me." The main screen lit up with an image that sent chills down the spines of everyone present. A massive, pitch-black ship, shaped like a twisted, organic nightmare, had appeared just beyond Pluto's orbit. "Alert all Earth Defense Forces," Volkov ordered, his voice calm despite the gravity of the situation. "And get me Ambassador Chen. It seems the galaxy has decided to test us sooner than we anticipated." As alarms blared across Earth and its colonies, the mysterious ship hung in space, a silent harbinger of the conflict to come. Humanity was about to face its first true interstellar threat, but they were far from unprepared. In the depths of space, aboard the alien vessel, a being of shadow and malevolence stirred. Its thoughts, incomprehensible to human minds, focused on the tiny blue planet that had caused such upheaval in the galactic order. At last, it thought in concepts rather than words, a worthy challenge. Let us see if these humans are truly as formidable as they appear. As Earth's defenses mobilized with unprecedented speed and coordination, Guided by the Nexus A's quantum calculations, the stage was set for a confrontation that would shake the foundations of the galaxy. In New Shanghai, Dr. Arya Khan rushed to equip the first battlecruiser with the Prometheus drive, knowing that the fate of humanity might rest on her invention. At the Galactic Council, Sarah Chen fought a political battle, rallying alien species to Earth's cause, her words a masterclass in diplomacy and veiled threats. And in the Avalon complex, Admiral Volkov watched as the pieces fell into place, a grand strategy unfolding across the stars. "Send the signal," he commanded. "Operation Cosmic Shield is now in full effect." Across the Earth and its colonies, hidden weapons platforms hummed to life. Satellites reconfigured into defense arrays, and ordinary citizens found themselves activating cybernetic enhancements they didn't even know they possessed. The galaxy was about to learn a harsh lesson. Humanity's ingenuity, when pushed to its limits, was a force that could reshape the very fabric of the cosmos. The universe held its breath, for the true potential of human anger was about to be unleashed. As the alien ship made its first ominous move towards Earth, Admiral Volkov's voice echoed across every human communication channel. "Citizens of Earth and her colonies, the moment we have prepared for is upon us. Stand firm, for today we show the galaxy why the universe shivers when humans get angry." The battle for humanity's future was about to begin, and its outcome would determine the fate of not just Earth, but the entire galactic order. The Coalition Wars. The vast emptiness of space erupted into chaos as the first shots of the galactic conflict were fired. The mysterious alien ship, now identified as the Harbinger, launched a barrage of energy weapons that lit up Earth's orbital defenses like a miniature sun. Admiral Viktor Volkov stood resolute in the command center of the EDS Horizon, Earth's most advanced battlecruiser. "Status report," he barked, his eyes never leaving the holographic battle display. "Shields holding at 89%, Admiral," reported his XO, Commander Yuki Tanaka. "The Prometheus drive is fully charged and ready for tactical jumps." Volkov allowed himself a grim smile. "Excellent. Deploy the Nexus swarm." Across Earth's orbit, thousands of tiny AI-controlled drones burst into action. Guided by the quantum calculations of the Nexus AI, they moved in perfect synchronization, forming an ever-shifting, impenetrable defense grid. Aboard the Harbinger, the being of shadow and malevolence observed the human defenses with growing interest. Fascinating, it communicated to its subordinates. "These creatures are full of surprises. Escalate the assault. Let us see how they adapt." As the battle raged in Earth's orbit, diplomatic war was being waged in the chambers of the Galactic Council. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood before the assembled alien representatives, her voice carrying the weight of Earth's determination. "Distinguished delegates," she began, her eyes scanning the room, "the unprovoked attack on Earth is not just an assault on humanity, but a threat to the very stability of our galactic community. We call upon you now to stand with us against this aggression." The chamber erupted into a cacophony of alien voices. The Valaxian representative's energy form pulsed erratically. "This is madness. We cannot risk open war with an unknown power." "And what of the humans' rapid militarization?" chittered the Calathian hive mind. "Perhaps this is merely the consequences of their unchecked ambition." Sarah's eyes flashed dangerously. "Our ambition, as you call it, may be the only thing standing between this galaxy and annihilation. Even now, Earth stands as a bulwark against a force that threatens us all." In the back of the chamber, Xylorine watched with a mixture of admiration and fear. The humans were playing a dangerous game, but their courage was undeniable. As the debate raged on, a shocking piece of news rippled through the assembly. The Harbinger had been joined by a fleet of similar vessels, emerging from the depths of uncharted space. The threat was far greater than anyone had imagined. Back in Earth's orbit, Admiral Volkov received the update with stoic resolve. "It's time," he said, his voice steady. "Initiate Operation Cosmic Shield." Across the solar system, hidden installations hummed to life. Quantum beacons activated, creating a vast network of interconnected defenses. On Mars, massive cannons emerged from the red sands, their barrels glowing with barely contained energy. "All ships, execute tactical jump now," Volkov commanded. In a dazzling display of coordination, Earth's fleet vanished and reappeared in perfect formation around the enemy armada. The Prometheus drive had given humanity the element of surprise. "Fire all weapons," Volkov's order rang out across the fleet. The space around the Harbinger and its allies erupted in a symphony of destruction. Human ingenuity, fueled by the desperate need for survival, proved to be a force of nature. Weapons, theorized but never before seen in the galaxy, tore through the enemy's defenses. In the Galactic Council chambers, the tide of the debate turned as news of the battle reached them. Sarah Chen seized the moment. "You see now the threat we face. But you also see humanity's resolve. Stand with us, and together we can forge a safer galaxy for all species." One by one, alien representatives pledged their support. The Zarthol, the Calathians, even the skeptical Valaxians joined the call to arms. A coalition was forming, with humanity at its core. As the combined fleet of Earth and its new allies engaged the enemy, the true scope of the conflict became clear. This was no mere border skirmish or show of force. This was a war for the very soul of the galaxy. Dr. Aria Khan, monitoring the battle from her lab in New Shanghai, made a startling discovery. "Admiral Volkov," she called urgently, "the enemy ships, they're not just vessels, they're alive." Volkov's eyes narrowed. "Explain, Doctor." "Our scans show organic components integrated with technology far beyond our understanding. These ships are some sort of biomechanical life forms, and they're evolving as we fight them." The implications were staggering. Humanity and its allies weren't just fighting a war, they were engaged in a cosmic struggle for survival against an entity that defied conventional understanding. In the heart of the Harbinger, the being of shadow communed with its brethren. These humans, they are unlike any species we have encountered. Their adaptability, their ferociousness when cornered, they may be the worthy opponents we have sought for eons. As the battle raged across the solar system, spreading to nearby star systems, the galaxy watched in awe and terror. Humanity, the upstart species that had burst onto the galactic stage, was now leading the charge against an enemy that threatened all sentient life. Admiral Volkov, his uniform singed and his eyes wary but determined, addressed the coalition fleet. "Soldiers of Earth and our honored allies, the road ahead is long and fraught with peril, but make no mistake, we will prevail. For we fight not just for our own survival, but for the future of all free beings in this galaxy." A cheer went up across the communication channels, a unity of purpose that transcended species and cultures. As the coalition wars entered their second month, with battles raging across multiple sectors, the galaxy began to understand a fundamental truth. The universe shivered when humans got angry not out of fear, but in anticipation of the change they would bring. In the Avalon complex, a team of scientists led by Dr. Khan worked tirelessly on Project Lazarus, knowing that the key to victory might lie in understanding and counteracting the enemy's biomechanical nature. And in the depths of space, aboard the EDS Horizon, Admiral Volkov plotted the next phase of the war, his mind racing with strategies that would reshape the very nature of galactic conflict. The coalition wars had begun in earnest, and their outcome would determine the fate of not just humanity, but of all sentient life in the cosmos. The universe watched and waited, for the true potential of human ingenuity and determination was yet to be fully unleashed. Humanity's finest hour. The coalition wars had raged for 6 months, leaving a trail of devastation across the galaxy. Star systems lay in ruins, planets were scoured by weapons of unimaginable power, and the death toll had reached catastrophic levels. Yet, in the face of overwhelming odds, humanity and its allies fought on with unwavering determination. In the war room of the EDS Horizon, Admiral Viktor Volkov stood before a holographic map of the galaxy, his face etched with the weight of countless battles. Surrounding him were the leaders of the coalition, Ambassador Sarah Chen, Silorine of Azarthal, the Calafian hive mind, and representatives from a dozen other species. The enemy's bioships are adapting faster than we can counter them, the Valaxian energy being pulsed anxiously. We've lost 3 more systems in the past week alone. Sarah Chen's eyes blazed with determination. Then it's time we change the rules of engagement. Dr. Khan, if you please. Dr. Arya Khan's hologram materialized in the center of the room. Distinguished allies, what I'm about to share with you might sound impossible, but I assure you, it's very real. She paused, her expression a mix of excitement and trepidation. We've successfully merged Project Lazarus with the Prometheus Drive and Nexus AI. The result is something we call the Singularity Matrix. The room erupted in a cacophony of alien voices, some skeptical, others hopeful. Admiral Volkov raised a hand for silence. Explain, Doctor, in terms we can all understand. Arya nodded, her hologram expanding to show a complex, swirling structure of light and data. The Singularity Matrix is a fusion of organic and synthetic intelligence, capable of real-time adaptation on a cosmic scale. It can interface directly with our ships, weapons, and even our soldiers, creating a unified network that evolves faster than the enemy's bioships. The Calafian hive mind chittered excitedly. Remarkable, but surely the energy requirements for such a system would be astronomical. Arya finished with a smile. That's where the breakthroughs in quantum entanglement come in. We can draw power directly from the fabric of space-time itself. Silorine's crystalline form shimmered with concern. The risks involved in such technology. Are we not in danger of becoming like the very enemy we fight? Sarah stepped forward, her voice firm. The difference, Ambassador, is choice. Every being in this coalition will have the freedom to connect to the Matrix or not. Our humanity, all of our species' unique qualities, remains intact. Admiral Volkov's eyes gleamed with the first real hope he felt in months. How soon can we implement this, Dr. Khan? The prototype is ready now, Admiral. With our allies' help, we can have the entire coalition fleet integrated within 72 hours. Volkov turned to the assembled leaders. You've all seen the reports. We're on the brink of losing this war. This may be our only chance not just for victory, but for survival. I'm asking you to take a leap of faith, with humanity, with each other. One by one, the alien representatives nodded their assent. The die was cast. The next 3 days were a flurry of activity as the coalition prepared for what might be its final stand. Ships were retrofitted, soldiers were briefed, and a sense of nervous anticipation permeated every level of the Allied forces. As the deadline approached, Admiral Volkov addressed the coalition fleet from the bridge of the EDS horizon. Soldiers of the coalition, the moment of truth is upon us. Today, we fight not just for our individual worlds, but for the very future of sentient life in this galaxy. Today, we prove that our diversity, our individuality, our very humanity is our greatest strength. Engage the Singularity Matrix. Across the fleet, beings of all species made their choice. As each connected to the Matrix, a wave of understanding and unity washed over them. It wasn't a loss of self, but an expansion of consciousness. Every being became aware of their role in the greater whole while retaining their unique essence. In the depths of uncharted space, where the enemy armada gathered for its final push, the being of shadow sensed a change in the cosmic balance. They have evolved. It communicated to its brethren. The game has changed. Fascinating. The battle that followed would be spoken of for millennia to come. The coalition fleet moved with impossible coordination, ships dancing through space in patterns that defied conventional tactics. Weapons fire became an art form, each shot predicted and countered by the Singularity Matrix cosmic calculations. On the front lines, a young human pilot named Maya Rodriguez felt her consciousness expand as she flew her fighter. She was aware of every ally, every enemy, every dust particle in her vicinity. With a thought, she coordinated a complex maneuver with a squadron of Zarthal crystal ships, their combined attack shattering an enemy dreadnought. In the medical bay of a Colathian HIV ship, Dr. Arya Khan worked tirelessly, her mind connected to hundreds of wounded soldiers across the fleet. Through the Matrix, she guided medics of a dozen species, sharing knowledge and techniques that crossed biological boundaries. And on the bridge of the EDS Horizon, Admiral Volkov orchestrated the grand strategy. His consciousness expanded to encompass the entire theater of war. He saw patterns within patterns, possibilities unfolding across multiple dimensions. As the tide of battle turned, the being of shadow realized a terrible truth. It communicated urgently to its kind. These beings, in their drive to survive, have touched upon the fundamental nature of the cosmos itself. We must. Its thoughts were cut short as a coalition strike force, led by the EDS Horizon, broke through the enemy's defenses. The Harbinger, that terrible ship that had begun this war, shuddered under the combined assault of a dozen allied species. In the final moments, as the Singularity Matrix calculated the killing blow, a message rippled through the coalition consciousness. It came from the enemy, a complex burst of information that defied easy translation. Admiral Volkov's eyes widened as he understood. "All ships, cease fire," he commanded. As the weapons fell silent, the true nature of that enemy became clear. The bioships, the beings of shadow, were not conquerors, but an ancient race of cosmic gardeners. They traveled the universe, testing species, pushing them to the brink to spark evolutionary leaps. Humanity and its allies had just passed the greatest test of all. The revelation sent shockwaves through the coalition. The war had been a crucible, forcing them to unlock potential they never knew they possessed. The Singularity Matrix, born of human ingenuity and galactic cooperation, had opened doors to understanding the very fabric of the universe. As the coalition fleet surrounded the now docile Harbinger, Admiral Volkov turned to his assembled allies. "We set out to save our species, our worlds. In doing so, we may have just taken the first step towards saving the entire universe." Ambassador Sarah Chen nodded, her eyes filled with wonder and responsibility. "The real work begins now. We have touched the cosmic truth, glimpsed the fundamental nature of existence. The question is, what do we do with this knowledge?" As the coalition ships began the long journey home, the galaxy buzzed with the news of their victory and the profound implications of their discovery. The universe had indeed shivered when humans got angry, not in fear, but in anticipation of the cosmic awakening that would follow. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged transformed. The age of isolation was over. A new era of galactic cooperation and cosmic exploration was about to begin, with humanity and its allies leading the charge into the unknown. The universe watched, waited, and wondered what these remarkable beings would do next. A new galactic order. 5 years had passed since the end of the coalition wars, and the galaxy was a changed place. The grand hall of the new galactic assembly on Earth's moon buzzed with activity as representatives from hundreds of species gathered for a historic session. Admiral Viktor Volkov, now serving as Earth's senior ambassador, stood at the podium, his weathered face a testament to the challenges overcome. Beside him stood Sarah Chen, recently elected as the first human galactic chancellor, and Dr. Arya Khan, whose groundbreaking work had reshaped the very fundamentals of science across the galaxy. Distinguished representatives, Volkov began, his voice carrying the weight of hard-won wisdom. 5 years ago, we stood on the brink of annihilation. Today, we stand united, not just as survivors, but as architects of a new cosmic order. The assembled delegates murmured in agreement, their diverse forms a vibrant tapestry of galactic life. Chancellor Chen stepped forward, her presence commanding respect from beings across the spectrum of galactic civilization. The Singularity Matrix, born from human ingenuity and galactic cooperation, has opened doors we never imagined possible. But with this power comes great responsibility. She gestured, and a holographic display materialized above the assembly, showing the intricate web of the matrix spanning across star systems. "We have touched the fundamental forces of the universe," Chen continued. "We have communed with the cosmic gardeners, those ancient beings we once saw as enemies, and we have learned that our purpose in this vast cosmos is greater than we ever dreamed." Dr. Khan took the stage, her eyes alight with the fire of discovery. What we initially created as a weapon has become the greatest tool for understanding and reshaping reality itself. The singularity matrix has evolved beyond our wildest expectations, allowing us to tap into the very fabric of space-time. She waved her hand, and the holographic display shifted, showing miraculous feats. Barren worlds transformed into lush paradises, dying stars rejuvenated, and wormholes stabilized for safe travel across vast distances. "But this is just the beginning," Khan declared. "We stand on the threshold of a new era of exploration and discovery. The universe is vaster and stranger than we ever imagined, and now we have the tools to truly comprehend it." As the assembly marveled at the display, Silarine, now the Zarfel Grand Ambassador, stepped forward. Her crystalline form shimmered with a newfound vibrancy, a result of her people's integration with the Matrix. "We must remember," Silarine resonated, "that it was humanity's drive, their anger at injustice, their refusal to submit to cosmic forces beyond their control, that brought us to this point. They taught us that emotion, tempered with wisdom, can be the catalyst for universal change." The Calafian hive mind, its consciousness now expanded across multiple star systems thanks to the Matrix, added its thoughts. "Indeed, the humans have shown us that diversity is not a weakness, but the greatest strength of all. Each species brings unique perspectives, and together, we are greater than the sum of our parts." Chancellor Chen nodded sullenly. "Which is why today, we propose the formation of the Cosmic Concord. Not an empire, not a mere alliance, but a new form of galactic cooperation, a union of free beings, working together to shepherd the very forces of creation." The hall erupted in discussion, beings of all forms debating the implications of such a monumental step. As the conversation flowed through the singularity matrix, ideas and concerns were shared at the speed of thought, a galactic brainstorm unlike anything seen before. In a quiet corner of the hall, a holographic projection of one of the cosmic gardeners observed the proceedings. Its form shifted and swirled, incomprehensible to most, but Admiral Volkov had learned to interpret its complex language. "You have surpassed our greatest expectations," the being communicated. "In your anger, you forged unity. In your fear, you found courage. And in the face of annihilation, you discovered the keys to creation itself." Volkov smiled wryly. "We had good teachers, even if we didn't realize it at the time." The cosmic gardener's form pulsed with what Volkov had come to recognize as amusement. "Perhaps, but the student has become the master. We look forward to seeing where you will lead the younger races." As the gardener's projection faded, Volkov turned his attention back to the assembly. The debate was reaching its crescendo, and a sense of anticipation filled the air. Chancellor Chen raised her hands for silence. "Distinguished representatives, it is time to vote. Will we embrace this new destiny to become custodians of cosmic forces beyond imagination? Will we forge this cosmic concord and lead our galaxy into a new age of enlightenment?" One by one, the delegates cast their votes. Species that had been bitter enemies now stood united. Races that had hidden in the dark corners of the galaxy now stepped forward into the light of cooperation. As the final tally was announced, a cheer went up that seemed to shake the very foundations of the moon base. The Cosmic Concord was born, a new chapter in galactic history begun. In the years that followed, the galaxy witnessed wonders beyond imagination. The barriers between dimensions were unraveled, alternate realities explored, dying ecosystems were revived, and new forms of life were nurtured into existence. The collective knowledge of a million civilizations flowed through the singularity matrix, accessible to all who sought wisdom. Humanity, the upstart species that had arrived on the galactic stage with a bang, now stood as mentors and guides to younger races. Their embassies became beacons of innovation and cultural exchange on worlds across the cosmos. And yet, they never forgot the lessons of their tumultuous arrival. Museums on Earth and her colonies told the tale of the coalition wars, reminding future generations that progress often comes at a great cost, and that unity in diversity is the greatest strength of all. As ships bearing the insignia of the cosmic Concord set out to explore the farthest reaches of the universe, the words of an ancient human poet echoed through the collective consciousness of a billion worlds. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. Humanity had raged against the darkness of cosmic indifference, and in doing so, had lit a beacon that would guide sentient life towards a bright, infinite future. The universe no longer shivered when humans got angry. Instead, it watched in wonder, eager to see what marvels these remarkable beings and their allies would unveil next in the grand tapestry of existence. And somewhere, in the vast expanse of creation, the cosmic gardeners looked upon their greatest success with pride, knowing that the torch of cosmic stewardship had been passed to worthy inheritors. As the gardener's projection faded, Volkov turned his attention back to the assembly. The debate was reaching its crescendo, and a sense of anticipation filled the air. Chancellor Chen raised her hands for silence. Distinguished representatives, it is time to vote. Will we embrace this new destiny to become custodians of cosmic forces beyond imagination? Will we forge this cosmic concord and lead our galaxy into a new age of enlightenment? One by one, the delegates cast their votes. Species that had been bitter enemies now stood united. Races that had hidden in the dark corners of the galaxy now stepped forward into the light of cooperation. As the final tally was announced, a cheer went up that seemed to shake the very foundations of the moon base. The cosmic concord was born. A new chapter in galactic history begun. In the years that followed, the galaxy witnessed wonders beyond imagination. The barriers between dimensions were unraveled, alternate realities explored, dying ecosystems were revived, and new forms of life were nurtured into existence. The collective knowledge of a million civilizations flowed through the singularity matrix, accessible to all who sought wisdom. Humanity, the upstart species that had arrived on the galactic stage with a bang, now stood as mentors and guides to younger races. Their embassies became beacons of innovation and cultural exchange on worlds across the cosmos. And yet, they never forgot the lessons of their tumultuous arrival. Museums on Earth and her colonies told the tale of the coalition wars, reminding future generations that progress often comes at a great cost, and that unity in diversity is the greatest strength of all. As ships bearing the insignia of the cosmic Concord set out to explore the farthest reaches of the universe, the words of an ancient human poet echoed through the collective consciousness of a billion worlds. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage against the dying of the light. Humanity had raged against the darkness of cosmic indifference, and in doing so, had lit a beacon that would guide sentient life towards a bright, infinite future. The universe no longer shivered when humans got angry. Instead, it watched in wonder, eager to see what marvels these remarkable beings and their allies would unveil next in the grand tapestry of existence. And somewhere, in the vast expanse of creation, the cosmic gardeners looked upon their greatest success with pride, knowing that the torch of cosmic stewardship had been passed to worthy inheritors.